Hi guys, welcome to Homeschool with me. We're gonna sit down. So first of all, this is like the cutest mug, and Tyler got it for me on clearance because he knows my soul so much that it needs to be on clearance. And also it's full of Mountain Dew because Mountain Dew is my lifeblood. And if you do not know that Mountain Dew is my lifeblood by now, then you need to follow me on Instagram. So I'm gonna be drinking Mountain Dew for this whole video because I need to wake up. Because it's Sunday and I took a Sunday nap and I'm just like really tired and groggy, and that's why my hair looks beautiful. So I went on Instagram and I asked you guys questions of what you would want to ask a homeschool mom. I asked some of my Facebookers too, and anyways, I thought I'm going to sit down and answer all of your guys' burning questions. I need more caffeine. I always need more caffeine. Hey mama. Hi, how are you doing? Okay. How do you choose a curriculum and how do you stay organized? I don't stay organized. That's a true story though. Like, I get unorganized. Like, what happens is we use it for like, I would say 4 times a year I hit my wall and I redo this closet or I reorganize something like 4 times a year. I just lose it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't find anything. Like, I know we have crayons. There was at one point, like earlier this year, I could not find crayons. Do you know how many crayons I own? It's insane how many crayons I own. And I could not find one pack of crayons. Where did the crayons go? So I reorganized. So how do I stay organized? The answer to that is I don't. I don't stay organized. It's not possible. How do I choose curriculum? Choose curriculum at the beginning of the year. And sometimes mid-year I'll switch if it's like terrible. But I kind of like, I decide what we're going to study for the year. So this year we're Voyagers that are traveling the world. And I look for a curriculum that will support that unit study because that's how we're going to do science and history and literature. And so everything revolves around that for those 3 subjects. And in the beginning of the year, I also write down like, what are we struggling with and what are our goals? And I also have my kids set goals because I think if you kind of all join together and they are in on it with you, they're more likely to try. Now for math curriculum, I'm very picky and I don't want to switch math every year, so I researched the Saxon math and all the other options. I did Saxon math growing up and I really liked it, so I chose Saxon math. I'm kind of keeping with it. I think it will take like a big movement for me or a really huge struggle for me to switch math programs. I just think it's important you stay consistent with math. So we've chosen Saxon math and I'm going to review that next week, so subscribe so you don't miss it. But we are definitely a Saxon math family. Next question. How do you pick a style to go with, and have you ever done preschool? I do not like, I'm not a style homeschooler, which might be total blasphemy for some of you, so I'm really sorry. I apologize for my unwillingness to conform. I love to read and learn about all the styles right now. I'm reading about the Charlotte Mason style of education because I know it but not like intimately, and I would like to know it a little bit more intimately because nature journaling has just got like, I just need to nature journal for some reason. I don't think I'll ever be somebody, and I might eat these words, that does one specific style of homeschooling. I kind of research all the different styles and then pick all the little ones that I like for me, and then I put them all together, and so I'm like a melting pot of homeschooling. I'm really strict and rigid curriculum homeschooler when it comes to math. I'm more of an unschooler when it comes to science. I lean a little bit more classical with literature, but not fully, you know. And nature journaling from Charlotte Mason is just like, it's got me. Like, I need to do this. So we're trying it out. I'll let you guys know how it goes. Have I ever done preschool? That depends on what you're asking me, so I will answer that in 2 parts. Have I ever sent my kids to preschool? No. Have I ever done preschool with the homeschool? Like, do I start with preschooling? Yes, but not in like the really rigid term of preschooling. Like, sure, we'll call it preschooling. I'm teaching them the alphabet. Or trying to convince Hiram there's a reason he should know the alphabet. That's our current argument. How do you argue with a 5-year-old who's like, I don't understand. I don't need to know the names of the letters. I know the sounds. How do you argue with that? You need to know the names. Why? Because you need to learn how to spell. And he's like, I can write them, so why do I need to know the names? We're getting there. We're getting there. If you have any tips, let me know. But we don't do like a sit-down preschool curriculum per se. When Malia does school, Hiram does little school activities that I've built up, but I don't like necessarily have like a curriculum that I use for preschool. I kind of just do things on my own. Pretty soon I am going to start sharing with you guys our alphabet series, which I put together to help Hiram overcome his unwillingness to learn the alphabet. I need more caffeine. Just talking about it gives me anxiety. Just talking about it. Okay, next question. Hi, I was wondering, can a homeschool child go to college? Yes. I went to college. All of my friends growing up went to college. To be admitted to college can be really simple as a homeschooler. It just depends on what the college wants from you. So in some respects, a college will accept a transcript that the mother produces that says what they've studied, what curriculums they've done, and their grades. They are always going to require an SAT and ACT score, obviously, and they're going to have to hit whatever they would want for that certain college. There's also options like umbrella schools or charter schools. Currently, the way Malia's homeschooling is she does an online charter. We live in Utah. There's an online charter that we do get some funding. And if you want a video on that, comment below and I will do a video on how we do that if you live in Utah, or I can look into other states if you have a state that you specifically want me to look into for you. And that is accredited through the state, and so she will get a diploma when she's done. They can do like a dual enrollment thing where they get an associate's degree at the same time as they're in high school, and if they come out with an associate's degree, then they're considered a transfer student and not a new student. So they don't, in a lot of cases, and don't quote me on this, they don't have to take the SAT or ACT. That's how it was when I was growing up. They would just transfer in with their grade, point average of their associate's degree. And so that was a very popular way to do it when I was growing up because the umbrella schools weren't as common. Yes, homeschool kids can get into college, and almost all of them do. I mean, I don't know if I know any of my friends that when I was homeschooled growing up that didn't end up going to college. We all ended up going to college. We're all normal, sort of, you know. We assimilated into society well. Okay. What is my daily schedule as far as schooling goes? Well, it depends. It depends on how much caffeine I've had that morning. No. Our daily schedule is really simple. As far as our daily schedule, our sit down at the table, do homework, math kind of stuff is probably a 2-hour time period. So we get up, we get dressed, we have breakfast, Malia does some independent work, then around 9:30 to 10 we sit down and do a good chunk of school for 2 hours, and then for the rest of the afternoon I kind of just keep bringing up little tiny educational things so it's not so overwhelming for me and I can still get laundry and cleaning done. So there you go. How do you find time for yourself? That's a complicated one. Okay, so sometimes I feel like I don't give enough time to myself. That's just fact, but I think that kind of might be all moms, so I don't know if it's just homeschooling, but I mean, you definitely have less time because you don't have like everyone off to school. I have a few tricks up my sleeve. So if I'm having like a particular day where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm done, I'll put on like a documentary and I'll go to my room and I will just have an hour and a half to myself. I also have a ton of homeschool mom friends, so if I've reached my wall, I'll call them and be like, hey, let's hang out. I need some like backup. I need somebody to distract my kids, or do you want to take my kids? So I definitely have like a village, like it takes a village, and I have my homeschool village. That's a very important step, and I did say that in our 5 easy ways to start homeschooling. You need to have your own homeschool community around you, and if you have that, you do get a little bit more me time. I do have Tyler take the kids every once in a while and just get out. I have a few friends that have a day of the week where they leave the house that night and they're done and it's their time. So I think it kind of just depends on your family. You can have a night to yourself. I love having time to myself in the afternoon. Like that's my thing. So baby goes down for a nap, kids can watch a documentary or just play by yourself, and no one's allowed in mommy's room. Mommy needs some time. Also, I use my mom. Do you know what I've been doing? My mom has a reading class on Tuesdays with Hiram, and Malia helps her teach it with his little cousin. And I have been going grocery shopping with just Kimball, and I'm like, oh, I should have appreciated more when I only had one kid, because it is so easy to grocery shop with just one kid. But when I had Malia, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so hard to grocery shop with a baby. And now I'm like, psh, just one? Sweet. How do I keep my kids motivated to keep learning? I don't know. You tell me. How I keep them motivated? I think realizing that at the age the kids that I have, sometimes an hour and a half of school is all they have in them, and I just have to kind of back off and let them be and let them explore and learn on their own. Sometimes I want to be that Pinterest mom. Ugh. If I could be what my Pinterest board is, I would be the best homeschooler ever. It's a true story. It's like I go on there and I just feel guilty about myself all the time. But I have to realize that my kids need to kind of explore things on their own and learn on their own. They learn a lot through play. Don't push it. Kind of let their interest lead you. And also we switch unit studies like every 6 weeks at this age. We like to switch it up. Like, okay, next, because, I mean, they're little and they kind of want to go, they kind of, I don't know, they're ADHD, I loved taking your guys' questions, so I might do this again in a few weeks. So comment below if you have questions I didn't answer and you would want me to answer in the next one that I do. Like this video if you like it and you want more like this, and then also subscribe so you don't miss all of the amazing stuff we have going on this week. See you later.